Greetings and salutations, my friends. Welcome back to part 2 of the experiment. So as we saw, I was supposed to do it as one part, but it went on like for an hour and a half, so I had to separate it into 2. So I'm recording this after. I'll just give you a non-spoiler review of what you're about to see. It gets fascinating. Let's get into it. Okay, here we are. The trouble is also, thinking about it, now their manager's doing well. He might get poached. Remember, it's his first job in management. He's a young manager. That would be annoying. Okay, God. Didn't get last season, right? They've just been promoted. It looks like they're now spending money. They're ground sharing for this season, at least. So, I'm going to go big here. I'm going to go they lost in the playoffs. I might just be a genius. Did they lose in the playoffs, though? Yes, they fucking did. Oh, I almost looked clever for a minute there. They lost in the playoffs. They must have spent. Who's their manager? It's still Ben Garner. This is good. I hope he's a very good young manager. He's 43 now. That still counts young as a manager, innit? He's older than me. Did they do bits? Oh, they did do bits. Did they do bits? They did massive bits. Giant, droopy bits they did, my friends. Look at this. He's gone big on one player again. There's a couple of other decent signings, big signings. But Georgi Jovanovic from Watford for £6.5 million. He likes an overspend, I feel like. He's good. But that's a lot of money, isn't it? They bought him for 140 grand. He played 3 games, didn't score. And Fort William I think he's worth 6.5. That's what desperation does to you. That's why when nobody wants to join, that's the sort of shit you do. Ben Marshall from Stoke. Experienced right midfielder. Not too bad at all. That's the sort of signings I was more expecting. And then the other one, we got Alvaro Lemons, we'll call him Lemons. Right back, 30-year-old. Technicals are a bit ropey. Did they sell anybody? Not really. Who's that Fulham player? Is he still playing? Okay, at least he's still getting games because his value's gone down quite a bit. I was worried that he just wouldn't get games now. They've had to pay him the full $6.5 million as well because he's got his appearances. He's terrible. Right. Okay then. I'm surprised. We won't bother taking over unless we see something interesting. Below average and adequate still. It was probably there before that you all noticed and I didn't see. But future stadium plans, they are searching for a site. There's quite a lot of sites in Fort William, in and around the area. I'm just saying, it's got a lot of green. 5,000... I think that's too small. If you were sort of sitting in League 2, perfect for the sort of foreseeable future. But because we're spending money and bouncing back, we might be in the Premier League soon, boy. Okay, Championship. What did they sort of attendances did they do at this in Inverness? Okay. The trophy, 341. I thought there was an extra 0 there. Mostly away fans. Yeah, not really. Maybe 5,000 is, maybe 5,000 is optimistic, in fact. Okay, right, we go on again. I'm worried that this guy might get poached, but I suppose they could offer him quite a cheeky pay rise if somebody came in for him. Let's go and have a look, and we'll do predictions. Right, have a little think. Where you think they're going to come. I'm going to say win the league. We've seen that they're spending money in League One. They lost in the playoffs last season. They've already got a good squad. We know they've got money. We'll check the bank balance and see if they've started. Because surely at some point they're going to... Because they've got no attendance. They're going to start pissing money away. But I reckon he's probably spent another 10 million and they've won the league. That's what I'm going for. Okay. Third playoffs, isn't it? It's 2 automatic and yeah. Oh, they lost to Bolton in extra time. The heartbreak. Oh no! Oh, if they spent a load of money, that's going to be awkward, isn't it? Ben Garner is still there. He's slowly becoming a Fort William legend. Estimated value's 4 million now. Just seems to be quite random. They spent 4.1 million. I feel like with like what? That's probably like 15 million pounds investment in the last 3 years. I feel like maybe you should have just got promoted. Josh Earl seems to be one of the big ones here from Wolves. Solid all-round left-back. And the other big one is Barbots from Middlesbrough. Solid centre-back. Looks like they're doing bits. Look at this guy's name. Jan Arie van der Heijden. Is he Dutch? It's like I'm a fucking genius. Not the paciest centre-back. He's 36 years old. Okay. Oh, he's left already, is he? Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. At least he was on a free. They made profit. I'll take it back. The guy's a genius. This manager's a genius. They've made profit on him. On a 36-year-old, that's decent. Okay. Jovanovic is now the captain. He's taken over from that guy. Just say that guy. Utilities adequate, below average. All right, let's have a quick look. See what the old bank balance is. If it should be about 100 and like 50-ish million. There's no way they're making profit now. There's just no way they're making profit. They should be making quite hefty losses. Okay, they are making losses. We are seeing downward trajectory, my friends. This is it's a real tough one because they're going to spend to get. They don't have a sugar daddy, so it's not like this is like one big. You won the lottery and that's it forever because they're not getting any attendance in, right? So this club is being built on a sort of foundation of sand because they're going to be buying all these players until the money runs out and then there's no money coming in and they'll have to totally strip the club again and just fall down the leagues because they're not improving enough. What's their reputation like? It's 2.5 star. Unless the only way I can see this working is if this money, this is the only solution. If they get to the Championship, there's not enough money for TV revenue and all that stuff in the Championship to keep them, because that's their only income, afloat in the Championship. And anywhere below that, they will just be pissing money away. They have to, with this £120 million, get to the Premier League. It's the only way. And then you get the TV money and then you sort it. Doesn't matter if you've got no fans. You've got the TV money. You're sorted. But this is the only way they could do this. Oh, I'm enjoying this so much. If you're enjoying this, guys, please do leave a like. And also give me some suggestions for other silly experiments that we can do. Right. Are we ready to go on to the next season? Okay. So here we go. Now that we know, have a little think for what you think's happened this season before we go into it. Now that we know that this is basically a ticking time bomb of a club, and we have to get promoted this season at the minimum, because it's going to take a few seasons in the Championship to. There's lots of big clubs in the Championship, so even with this big pot of money we've got, it's not a certainty. We need to get in there so we can, have a season surviving and pushing forward and stuff like this. It is imperative that we get into there. Right, have you got your thought where you're going to finish? I'm going to say they've won the league. I reckon they've invested another 10 million quid. They've got the same manager in charge, and all will be good. Second in the league, boys. Ben Garner's doing bits. It is automatic promotion, isn't it? I'm not having a massive brain fart, am I? There's 2 automatic promoted teams. Yes? Yes, boys. 6 points clear is easy. Right, okay, transfers. Oh, he spent a lot of money. I know it's need. I know it. Oh, this is such a weird position to be in because you've got to improve the squad. You've got to get to the Premier League. But you can't use that pot of money too fast. unless you're buying like I would sort of almost start swooping up the young kids, because you can pay to get like a wonder kid in. You might pay a chunk of money up front, but maybe get some cheap bargains. But also you're paying them less, and then they're going to improve with you. That's how probably I would go with this. Alejo from Stoke, not bad. Any big signings? Yeah, he's done it again. Just flopped his cock out and signed a £7 million player, Samir from Brighton, who's a very good centre-back. He's 30 years old. I'm not sure if that's the wisest investment, to be honest. His big signings are a little bit worrying, aren't they? They're not... None of them have been fantastic. So, like, Lemos has gone. Sold for 450k to Hull City after signing in for 1.2. Yeah, we need to make some... Because also, if you were getting youngsters in, you could then maybe sell some for a profit to try and keep the club afloat. That might be another way of making some money. But they spent net spend of 8 million quid. But they are in the Championship. Let's go look at finances. That's not the what I wanted, was it? Okay, where are we? League One. Fort William. They're still at Inverness. Finances. Oh, this is so nerve-wracking. Right, okay. This is nuts. Nuts. The board aren't helping, because the board are like, yeah, use all the money to spend. Look, have £1 million a week in wages. That's nuts. Don't give them £1 million. Don't give him ideas. Like, there's no TV money. There it is. So, solidarity payments. There it is. So there is a solidarity payments. We might have found our income here, because we probably in the Premier League signed a big 5-year sponsorship deal with Nike. Bet they're regretting that decision, because we are getting a shit ton of money from sponsorship still. I suppose our reputation is not bad now. 2.5-star rep, adequate and below. Estimated value of 5 million now. Where was that thing with that showed us? Okay, Fort William Stadium, fucking genius. They had to pay a marketing company £80,000 for them to come up with that name. 5,000 seater. Fort William Stadium at the end of next season. That's cool. I think that's perfect. Now we've seen the sort of fan base that they've got. It's going to take a long time to get that fan base up. And also being in the location they are, that they take that into account for the game and stuff. So it's not like they're ever going to, unless they start winning Champions League week in, week out, it's not like they're ever going to attract. I like nobody fucking travels. I like 4 people went from Fort William to the MK Dons. They get a couple of 100 people in a game. I'm trying to look for silver linings. But they're in the Championship. That's all that really matters. Right. Let's go on one more. Okay. As always, have a little think what think's going to happen this season. I think the manager's safe. He's gotten promoted. He's done bits. Where did they finish in the Championship, and how much did they spend? He's quite open to spending, and now he's in the Championship. There's going to be more higher value players available to buy. So I reckon he's flopped out 20 million, and they've come 15th. I'm calling it now. Oh my word! They finished 4th in the Championship. Did they go up? That's playoff territory. Oh, they lost in the playoff final again. That is amazing. I'll take that all day long. Take that all day long. To that first season back in the Championship, and you get into the playoffs. That is brilliant. Did he go big with the transfers, though? Did he spunk it all first season? He spent 25 million. I was not far off. Oh, look at that. Andrew Spickett from Southampton, 10.5 mil skis. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. They need a transfer committee. Who have they got in charge of transfers? The Man United lot? Fucking hell. What is that? Yeah, he's 21. Great. He's a young player. But 10.5 million. Right, Semenyo from Bristol City, 6.5. Like, he's not bad. He's pretty good. He's a good championship striker. That's fine. He scored 17 goals. Okay, that's more like it. Boubacar Kamara from Leeds United. Solid. They're the signings we want. Not this fucking hell. If he plays games, which he must be on a key player contract, they're going to have to pay him another almost 3 million quid. Oh, he's not even a starter. Oh, dear. Yeah, they bought him in the summer. He's not even a fucking starter. Okay. But we are in the championship. We are in the playoffs. We lost, yes, but that bodes well for next season. I'm slightly worried about finances now. I'm assuming it'll be under. Do we sell any players for any money? Not really. No. I warned you, game. I warned you, manager man. That's a bit of a hit. Signed him for 6.5 million. It's not like he's old. He's in his prime. So it's not like he just got old and shit and you have to sell him. He's literally the best he'll ever be. And you sold him for 140 grand. Fucking hell, game. Fucking hell. Yeah. I probably missed some as well that they've just pissed a load of money on Yayo. They are taking hits left, right, and centres. I know they're going to have a quick turnaround of players because you buy players for League Two and then you're in the Championship and you're like, well, he's not good enough. But they're just overpaying for players. These two are expensive, but they're a couple of decent players. I'm not sure about this one either. But we'll keep an eye on Mr. Andrew Spickett. I think, like I say, he's not terrible. He's decent. You wouldn't spend 10 million quid on him, though. He's wanted by Huddersfield. Ironically. Where are Huddersfield, you're asking? They are, just so you know, we just swapped them over. Huddersfield were put in the Highland League. I'm not making a video on it, right? But they're in the Premier League. They've done all right for themselves, as you'd expect by then. Interesting. How much were they buying for? I'm fascinated by this Spickett story. He's only been there a season. He's wanted. He's not transfer listed or anything, is he? No, okay. He might be unhappy because of lack of game time. Okay. Right. Absolutely fascinating. Right, on to the next season. Oh no, shit, we got to see how much money they got. 80 million? Something like that. Maybe less than 80 million, 70 million. Oh my word. It is apparently possible to break financial fair play regulation. Why have they broken financial fair play regulations? Because it was not money put in by the owners, like each season. It's not like they keep chucking the club a load of money. They had £20 million investment 8 years ago that was just in the bank. I don't understand how. Feel free to try and explain that in the comments. All the 100 million was from relegation money and the sponsorships and all that stuff. So I am really confused as to why they are breaching the financial regulations. There might be other regulations I'm just not sure about because I've never even been close to breaking financial regulations. Well, that's interesting then. Yeah, 81 million quid. Is there going to be anything here? Financial fair play constraints. I thought it was about putting money into the club. The money has always been here. It's our money that we've made legitimately after the 20 million. Okay. Have we still... What is this sponsorship? It's 5 million less than it was last year. Did we just get all the big Premier League sponsors and stuff? Because if we didn't have this, we'd be up shit creek without a paddle. Like, we've got the solidarity payments as well. So the club has only lost the money that it spent on players. Oh, the plot thickens. The plot thickens. Hang on. We haven't even looked. Did we look if they've gone up yet? I didn't even look. Just want to see what sort of attendance they're getting. Oh, it was on TV. There's 500 fans turning up, boys. There's 500 fans turning up. Okay, did they get promoted? 4th in the league. No. They're not having luck, are they? I'm so confused by the financial thingy. Maybe it's not investment money, but you can only spend. Maybe it's you can only spend a percentage of what your club makes. So the income your club makes, you can spend over by a certain amount, despite the fact we've just got it in the bank, which we got through football. Seems a bit weird either way. We need, Qatari owners. That's what we need. They seem to be fine with financial fair play. That's what we need. Okay, right. Another painful playoff loss. How close were we, though? We're in a pack. That's the problem. There's a lot of big clubs up this end of the table. We've got Leeds, got Sunderland, Sheffield United, Stoke, Burnley, Palace, Brighton. And Brentford. Sorry, Brentford fans. I better read you out. I literally read out every other team but Brentford. Sorry, Brentford. All right, then. Well, I think we've got 1 year left to look at this. I don't know what's going to happen. So let's have a look. Right, so this is the end of the 9th season. We've got one more season after this. Oh, how do we call this season? I don't even know if the manager was allowed to spend any money. Okay, assume they couldn't spend any money unless they got docked points. But they were in the playoffs. So, okay, I'm going to go maybe drop down a little bit. I'm going to go 6th. And they've stuck with the manager. 7th. Oh, this could be the beginning of the end. Oh, they've got a new manager. Oh, what's happened? What has happened? We've got 3-star rep. Our value's gone up again. 13 million. Below average and adequate. Michael Johnson. He's good at motivating people. Who's manager of Guyana for 8 years? As you do. What's happened? Oh, I'm scared of looking at the transfers like they've had to sell a shit ton or something. It says we're not even rich anymore. I think this could be the end. We've not done it. We've not got to the Premier League before the money ran out because we've only got one more season to do. And if it's already secure, I think it could be the end of the dream. Let's have a look at managers. Did he get sacked? How do you sack him, though? I know we've had a poor season. Maybe if they didn't sell anybody and they had a shit season, maybe that is it. But he was sacked after almost 6 years in charge. That's harsh. That's harsh, that is. I'm scared. Okay, let's have a look at the league. How far off are we? No, that's not what. Season preview, we were like 18th. Stages. 55 points. We'd like 20 odd points off playoffs. 12 points off relegation. Stoke got relegated to League One, by the way. Just cheer up, you Stoke fans. Okay. I'm assuming if we got Hang on, is that the right amount of points? So maybe there's a point deduction. Oh, God, I've got to do maths live. Right, that's 39 points. 49.55. Okay, so we didn't get a points deduction. I'm scared to look at our transfers. Okay, so we didn't get a transfer ban because we made transfers in the summer, but we have actually now made a profit of £1 million on transfers. So Boubacar Kamara went to Levante. Yeah, see, I thought he was a solid player, and he's proved it. They've made their money back on big boobs. Josh Earl from Brighton, they've sold. Made a very good profit on him. Is he any good? Yeah, he's not bad. They bought Sam McQueen, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oh, how old is he? 33. Oh, his physicals. That's not a good signing. It's not a good sign because you're paying him lots of money. Like I love him. I love him as a Liverpool player. I don't love him in 9 years' time, though. That's the difference. Okay. Wow, he's never really found a home, has he? He went to France twice on loan. And went to West Ham on a free, but then Burnley barely played in that season, and then Burnley signed him for 17 million. Okay, he got 6 assists. I think that's cool. Jonathan Lecco, he's the speedy one, isn't he? Not a bad little player. Fascinating. Thornley from Sheffield Wednesday. Oh, he's 30. I thought, okay, he's good. Oh, he's 30. Obviously, we're going to get lots of regens at this point. Where's our little friend? He looks like he's still there. What's his name? Wicket. What's his name? Hang on, they loaned him out. They loaned this dude out. Interesting. Spicket. There he is. Oh, he's not played any games. He started one game this season. The records... Oh, look at those scores. Right. Let's have a look at finances. This has been so much fun. Where are we? Championship. Maybe for one more season. They are now under a transfer embargo due to breach of financial regulations. So unless it's taken a year, which knowing the FA it could do, to punish them, or they've broken them again, which I don't see how, because we made a profit in the transfer window, so I'm not sure what else you can do. So this... Oh, they just don't want them. Anti-Scottish, that's what it is. It's anti-Scottish. Those English pricks. Solidarity. Okay. What is going on? Oh, look at it. The wage budget has been... I like the fact the board only now have realised that all the money is going away. Lads, we had 160 million. Where's it all gone? Well, have you seen some of the signings? Nobody turns up to the games, stuff like that. And they're under a transfer embargo. That's weird. I can understand last season if it was right. Like I said, if they were, you can only reinvest in players like percentage of the revenue you make through match day and blah, 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 blah. But they actually made £1 million profit in transfers this season. So that seems harsh. Weirdly, they still have gigantic sponsorship. It's dropped a little bit again, but it's massive. God, we're making like 20 million a season just from this stuff. How much worse off would we be? And these parachute payments are going to stop soon. I'm not sure how many years it is, but it's not going to be for much longer. I think let's load up next year and discuss it. Right, we are at the end of season 10. Is that right? June 2028. Is that right? 9? 10? Go with it. This is the last season. This is it. I'm very worried now. I am very worried. I think our hope of saving the club by getting it back into the Premier League before the money ran out is a dream long since dead. But it's worse than that, I think. We saw that they had a transfer embargo. We don't know for how long that is, when it's going to take place, whether there's going to be minus points. We did shit last season. And whether we had to make a profit in the transfer window or we just did make a profit in the transfer window, these are all not good signs, my friends. This has been so fun. I sort of did, like I said, I did all the saves. So I've got basically a list of like 15 saves or whatever. And I hadn't checked anything because I like to be surprised. I'd assumed before we'd done this, that they would get relegated from Premier League, relegated from League One. I thought they might drop to League Two, conference level, and then maybe come back up a little bit, or just sort of find their place in the league, and that's where they would be. I thought they'd get a few more fans by now, got to admit, but it's been so amazing. Right, okay, where did they finish? I don't know how much money they had to spend, so I can't really guess how. I'm going to say they spent a net spend of 5 million quid. Because even if they're transfer embargo in the summer, they could get January. I don't want to see them. I want them to finish in the Championship, and then we can just all go home with a dream. So I'm going to say they finished 17th again in the Championship, and they've got the same manager. Yes! I'm celebrating. How things have changed. I'm celebrating 18th in the Championship. I'm delighted with that. They've hung about. The trouble is, I think going forward, they're screwed, aren't they? Just above Leeds on goal difference. Leeds fans. That's the future for you Leeds fans, by the way. Just saying. Okay. Fascinating. No! Not Sean Dyche! Why would you do that to them? Oh, no. You know, it's gone wrong. I love him, Sean. But he's a bit of a plonker. Oh, no. Sean Dyche. The ultimate. How did it end like this? What do we do to deserve him? He was sacked almost after a year. It looked like. It's because they had a good season in the Championship. And so the board were like, well, you must improve upon that. Sean Dyche. Oh, what a way to finish it. Okay. Yeah, the money's gone, innit? And it could be for something to do with financial fair play. I'm confused at this point. I'm lost at this point. Feel free to have a discussion about it in the comments because I'm not quite sure. They spent some money. They sold Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain for 500k to the Urarai Red Diamonds. Where the fuck are they? Our Japanese team. He's Gary Lineker, isn't he? Fair enough. Why not spend a season in 2 seasons in Japan? Okay, they bought. I forgot they bought him. I thought they got him on a free. Okay, they made a 1.2 million loss, but that's expected on an oldie, innit? That's amazing. They didn't sell that player, the Thicket or whatever his name is. Is he still there, or did he get released on a free? The ultimate mistake. He is there. He had 1 start. Oh, he's worth 100 grand. He's worth £100,000, my friends. He's not even touched a 6.7 average. Wow. Okay, let's take over. Sean Dyche, fuck off. Okay. Where are we? Championship. Just about. Okay. Oh. I didn't see if there was a transfer embargo. We'll find out that. Finances. 33 million. It's all going wrong. There's some... I don't know what's... what this is. But we've got that money coming in. There's a little bit of money for, like, if I don't know, I don't understand this. There's no breakdown, is there, of sponsorship? They must have signed the mother of all fucking sponsorship deals when they were in the Premier League. Yeah, 15 million, 20-year deal. Go on then. More. I don't know what's going on. Or the game's just gone nuts. Projection. Seems about right. Normally the prediction is fucking awful in this game. But from what we've seen, we've got 2 seasons of money. We must be in our new stadium that they're going to have to sell. All seater. Yeah. And it's made of grass, which is always good. No undersoil heating. Doesn't look like. They never really did enough with the facilities, in my eyes. Maybe they knew that they had to get back in the Premier League and they were like, we can't waste money on facilities. We've got to get to the Premier League before all the money pisses away. But they've got the Fort William Stadium. But we can rest in the knowledge, that weird run this is. Look at that. And then they had a cracking run. And then they shit the bed at the end of the season. 900 fans. 1,000 fans. Oh, 900 fans. Okay, so the locals, after 10 fucking years, have decided that actually, let's go watch Fort William. They're in the Championship. What's an attendance of 1,000? Where does that in real life football? What sort of leagues average that? It's obviously not Championships. Probably not. It's more like League 2 level, isn't it? What we can safely say from this is that this will be the best it ever gets going forward for Fort William. I think the money's going away. They keep flirting with financial fair play. There doesn't seem to be any... The board will not allow any budget-related requests. Oh, requests? Maybe they've just basically got the FA living at Fort William to make sure they don't fuck it up. But what we can safely assume from this now is that they are doomed. Unless we signed a lifelong deal with Nike at 15 million quid a month. A year, rather. Right? Because that alone would keep us... even with the wages we're spending, because it's just getting pissed away. Like, our expenditure is bonkers. Like, players' wages last season was 22 million, right? So this 20 million is basically writes that off, right? So let's if this, I don't know what this is now at this point, right? But assuming it's going to run out, then all shit will hit the fan. They're probably going to get relegated next season anyway, but if they don't that next season, it'll be the season after. It will certainly be the season after that because they will be gone, I think. But a couple of saving graces, I think, what we've seen from this club is that they've built their reputation up pretty well. They've got a 3-star reputation, which is really solid. And they've got a nice little stadium now, which is great for lower league football. So I think if we were to go on 10, 15, 20 years, which we're not, don't even put it in the comments. I think they'd maybe find their level at... Once all the money's gone, assuming the sponsorship money goes, and they'll have to obviously sell up all their players to sort of get rid of all the wages, and all that shit will eventually go, and it will sort of find its level. I think they're probably looking at a conference side. I think there'll be a solid conference side going forward. Let me know what you think. But if you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like. I have had so fucking much fun. I haven't done an experiment in ages. And although this was quite a simple experiment in essence, put Fort William, the team we love, into the Premier League. Give them a little bit of cash so they can compete and see how they get on. And it's been, hate to use this term, a roller coaster of emotions. It's been fascinating seeing what's gone on. they took so long to start spending money. Like the first 3 or 4 seasons, they're just not spending any money. And then they started pissing it up the wall for these terrible players, like awful players, massively overpriced. And then they've had 3 seasons of breaking financial fair play, and now the money's about to run out. But apparently they sold a 100-year sponsorship deal with Nike. So, what a ride that is. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like. I know it was a long one. I'm thinking I might have to make this 2 parts, because this is, once I've edited, I've been recording for like 2 hours now, and even if I edit out all the gaps loading games and shit, it's going to be a long old video. So I'm going to assume this is probably 2 parts now, which it never intended to be. But you know me, I like to talk. You might have noticed, which is ironically helpful for YouTube, because it'd be weird if I... That's good. You know, it would have been a bit dull. Let me know what you think of this experiment. Let me know if you want to do more. If you are new to the channel, please do think about subscribing. I've got a ton of good content coming out at the moment. We've got some really good long-term saves, and there's more in the pipeline coming when those finish. And also, go and check out some of my older stuff, especially the Journeyman and the Stanley Parable. Really good fun saves. And all that crap. Thank you very much for watching. Mon the Fort. Let's go.